One more AEW note here. It was reported from Fightful on Tuesday. Wrestle Purist, I think, was actually the first one to mention this on Tuesday or Monday, but Fightful backed it up with a report the following day. The Lucha Bros apparently on their way out of AEW and potentially on the way to WWE. Now, I know we talked about this about a month or two ago with Penta. His deal was said to have been up in like September, August. It's August now, so I think it might be September. They were day oneers. Him and Phoenix joined the company together back, not exactly day one, but it was like the following month. They were revealed at one of the press conferences they did. They signed with AEW, and they've had a lot of success. Former AEW World Tag Team Champions, former AEW World Trios Champions. Phoenix is a former international champion. They won the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. I mean, definitely one of the top tag teams in the world. Now, they haven't been focused on in a while, and it was pretty clear that they were never going to be focused on as single stars, which I think is really where their worth is, but now they're going to WWE, apparently. It would obviously be as a tag team. They're older now. I don't know how old Penta is exactly. I mean, he's been around for a bit. I was watching him in Lucha Underground a decade ago, so I'm not exactly sure how old he is or what value they would have on their own. But, you know, again, like I said, we did talk about this a little while ago, and you had mentioned maybe not Penta in WWE, especially on his own, because I'm not sure if they would book him well on his own. But as a tag team, there could be some value there. Among, you know, Motor City Machine Guns, we discussed them recently, the potential and the possibility of them going to WWE as well. So WWE could be adding a lot more depth to their tag team division very, very soon. Your thoughts on the report on the Lucha Bros maybe headed to WWE? Is it a good or bad move, or should they just stay in AEW?
I mean, I feel like for both parties, it just really depends on what they're doing with their tag team divisions. I mean, Raw, I think it's JD and Finn are champions, and then SmackDown, Tama Tonga and Sheikha Fatu just won those last week. So, I don't know. I think it realistically depends on what they want to do. They've kind of revitalized it, but then they kind of didn't. Like last week, I think Raw, like Theory and Waller beat Miz and R-Truth. Like JD and Finn are obviously doing the whole stuff with the Judgment Day. I don't know. I feel like they need to like put it on actual tag teams and actually focus on it instead of putting in the belts on two people in a group and then not really focusing on the tag team division. So I think depending on what they do, I think it's a decent move. I don't know if they'd start in NXT first, but I mean, I think it's worth a try. WWE-wise.
Yeah, I believe the report had indicated that they don't want to go to NXT. And I think an NXT run would be fine, but honestly, let me look it up right now. Let me see how old they are. Because if they're on the older side, like, listen, Motor City Machine Guns in WWE, I would love to see it. And I don't really mind where they start, but at this point, they should probably go to the main roster. Yeah, okay, so Lucha Bros, Penta is 39 years old. He's 39. And, I mean, LA Knight signed WWE around 39 years old.
I mean,
so.
Felix is 33, so.
Oh, wow, that's a big difference. I didn't think they were that far apart. 33. So, wait, he was in Lucha as a 23-year-old? That's fucking crazy. Wow, because that company started a decade ago. That's really wild. Yeah, I mean, I think they could have some success there. I think, again, WWE, one of their biggest blind spots right now, Triple H specifically, let's be honest, is the tag team division. Not that AEW's tag team division is lighting the world on fire right now. They have a lot of good teams, but for a company that was known for its tag teams, they don't really have a lot of depth in that division either.
Honestly, who are even the tag team champions? I couldn't even tell you.
The Bucks. But you know what, though? The Bucks won those tag team titles in April. They have not had a single defense since. Like, that's surprising.
I didn't even know. I honestly had no idea, so.
Yeah, they won that tournament after Sting and Darby were champions, and they vacated them. And the Bucks won the belts. FTR want the shot at Wembley. It's obviously going to go to the Acclaimed. They've kind of made that clear. And that's fine, but they have the Bucks, they have FTR, they have the Acclaimed. There's obviously other people as well. But I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird to think that, the momentum is kind of shifting in WWE's favor. I mean, I would have never guessed that Penta and Phoenix, who have been close to the Bucks for a while, they had some amazing tag team matches with the Bucks and AEW, that they would be headed to WWE, because that is a real risk, especially at this point. I know WWE had interest in them like 5-6 years ago when they were first free agents, leaving TNA. Going to AEW first was probably the right call, because had they gone to WWE 5 years ago, dude, could you have imagined, like, when Vince was still in charge, they would have been the 4th and 5th members of the fucking Lucha House Party. I mean, I don't want to say, obviously, they could always end up in the LWO, which would be pretty stupid, but I think they should be brought in, go right to the main roster, and wreak some havoc, and just in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think specifically, they've always been the same kind of team. So, like, yeah, they've been facing heel, but, like, they're still the same two guys. I mean, I think what a lot of people fail to realize, like, if you're not, like, a top guy, I mean, why do you think the territories are the way they were? Like, if you weren't a top guy, you couldn't just, like, hang around for 5 years. Eventually, people just got old of you. I mean, they haven't really changed at all. They're still the same people. So, they've been in AEW for almost 5 years. They've pretty much done everything they can do. How many times are you going to see them in the Bucks and FTR? Like, they face the same teams 100 times. It's to the point that if they're not going to change, you kind of got to change scenery. So I think that's kind of what they do. If it doesn't work out, I feel like they could always probably go to the AAA or CMLL or whoever they have that alliance with in Mexico. But, I mean, I think that's the thing with them in AEW. I think they've pretty much done everything. And at this point, what's left for them to do that they haven't already done? There's no new teams, so it's not like they're going to feud with anyone new.
Especially if Motor City Machine Guns are headed to WWE, that would be like the one top team they can really work with. I mean, they were also, it's weird too, because, and I assume the contract stuff had something to do with this, they were building towards at one point, actually that's not true, Jay White got hurt, so that's probably why, but at one point they were building towards, and I think they did do it actually, I'm sorry, I think they did do Bang Bang Gang against Death Triangle. Dude, they do so many matches, it's hard to remember. I don't fucking remember. I also called them by that dumbass name. It's Bullet Club Gold. I don't know why I called them Bang Bang Gang.
No, it's the Gang Bang Scissor Gang.
Stop. But yeah, they've done all they can do there. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Tony Khan didn't attempt to do more with them on their own. I mean, I mentioned Phoenix was the international champion for what, fucking 2 weeks? I think he won it by accident.
I think that was like because Moxley got hurt. I don't think that was a plan.
Yeah, I don't even think that was the... Yeah, he dropped it pretty quickly too, so that's probably why. I mean, they've done some single stuff, but primarily it's been like tag team stuff. And they are an amazing team. I just wanted to see more from Penta on his own, more from Phoenix on his own. You know, it's fine, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we might find out soon, because apparently they are free agents within the next month or two, and they could be headed to WWE soon after. So hopefully they don't add on time to their contracts, because both guys, specifically Phoenix, has been hurt a lot in AEW. They might add on some time to his deals, so time will tell on that front.